Have you ever looked into a mirror and felt as if something was watching you back? Not like your usual reflection, but something different. This story is about Laura, an ordinary young woman, until the day she started receiving messages on her bathroom mirror. It all began innocently. It was a Monday night after a long, exhausting day at work. Laura, as she always did, went to brush her teeth before bed. As the hot water fogged up the mirror, she noticed something strange. There was a phrase written there, as if someone had traced it with a finger on the foggy glass. The words formed a simple but disturbing message. You are not alone. At that moment, Laura froze. She knew she was home alone. She locked the door, checked all the windows. Who could have done that? She wiped the mirror clean, erasing the message, and tried not to think about it anymore. Maybe I imagined it, she thought, nervously laughing. But what happened the next day left her shaken. This time, there was no steam on the mirror. The surface was completely clean, yet a new message appeared as she was getting ready for work. Be careful what you look for. Now Laura knew something was very wrong. How were those phrases appearing? Could someone have access to her home? She spent the day paranoid, checking every lock, every corner of her apartment, but she found nothing. In the following days, the messages continued, growing more mysterious each time. You are close to discovering. Don't turn back now. Laura began questioning her sanity. She even searched the internet for rational explanations. Some suggested it was condensation and dust. Others pointed to something supernatural. Determined to find the truth, Laura decided to install cameras in the bathroom. She placed a hidden camera and waited. That night, something woke her around 3 a.m. A subtle noise, like something scratching the mirror. She got up, her heart racing, and went to the bathroom. There was no one there, but the message on the mirror was clear. Why are you watching me? Terrified, she checked the camera recordings. What she saw made her blood run cold. At 3 a.m., the mirror began fogging up on its own, as if someone was breathing on the other side. Then slowly, a hand appeared writing the messages. But the most frightening part? It wasn't Laura's hand. It looked identical, but it wasn't hers. Laura decided to confront the mirror. Who are you? She asked, writing on the cold surface with her finger. For a few seconds, nothing happened. But then, a response appeared, written from inside the glass. I am you. From that moment, Laura's life turned into a nightmare. The mirror seemed alive, reacting to her emotions. If she was sad, the reflection showed her smiling in a haunting way. If she was happy, the reflection appeared tearful, as if mocking her. She tried to get rid of the mirror, throwing it away, but it always reappeared in the bathroom, hanging in the same spot. One night, desperate, she decided to break it. She grabbed a hammer and delivered the first blow. But instead of shards of glass, what appeared was a black hole, deep and infinite, pulling her in. At the bottom of that hole was something or someone. It was a distorted version of Laura, like a reflection from a world where everything was reversed. The figure whispered, "You opened the door. Now there's no going back." Since then, Laura was never seen again, but they say if you look closely at your mirror at night, you might notice a subtle movement, as if someone is trying to cross to your side. After Laura's disappearance, the mirror was found intact in the bathroom, as if nothing had happened. The police, of course, dismissed any supernatural explanation. To them, it was just another unsolved missing person case. But the neighbors knew something was wrong with that house. A new tenant, Marcos, moved into the apartment a few weeks later. He didn't believe in urban legends or horror stories. To him, the mirror was just another ordinary object in the bathroom. But that changed on the first night. While brushing his teeth, Marcos noticed something peculiar in the reflection. It wasn't exactly what he saw, but what he didn't see. In the reflection, the bathroom door was open, but when he turned to look, the door was closed. He laughed nervously, thinking it was just exhaustion, and went to bed. The next night, things got worse. Marcos woke up in the middle of the night, feeling like someone was watching him. When he opened his eyes, he saw a shadow moving through the mirror, but there was no one in the room. He turned on the light and the reflection seemed normal. But then he saw it, a phrase written in the lower corner of the mirror. Why are you here? Marcos tried to ignore it, but the messages kept appearing. They were short, direct, but filled with menace. Leave while you can. "You don't belong here." Each night, the messages became more insistent until one appeared in huge letters covering the entire mirror. "Open the door." Confused, he looked around the bathroom, searching for a door other than the one leading to the hallway. That's when he noticed. In the reflection, there was a door that didn't exist in the real bathroom. He touched the glass and felt something different. The mirror seemed colder, almost pulsing. Marcos decided to investigate. He pushed the mirror, which creaked as if it were mounted on rusty hinges. Behind it was a small space, like a secret compartment. Inside, he found a dusty diary with Laura's name on the cover. The diary was filled with drawings and strange notes, describing a world on the other side of the mirror. Laura had documented everything, the voices, the messages, the visions. And at the end, there was a final entry. "If you found this, it's too late. The mirror already knows you're here." Marcos closed the diary and felt a chill run down his spine. When he looked at the mirror again, he didn't see his own reflection. Instead, there was a dark figure with glowing eyes that seemed to pierce the darkness. The figure reached out, as if trying to pull him in. Marcos screamed and tried to flee, but the bathroom door wouldn't open. The mirror began to crack, each fissure emitting a deafening sound, like the glass itself was screaming. And then everything went silent. The next morning, the apartment was empty. Marcos had also vanished. The mirror, however, remained there, hanging on the wall intact. Now, the story of the cursed mirror began circulating around the city, but no one dared to check. Still, there are reports that on the quietest nights, if you stare into a mirror long enough, you might see shadows moving. Some say they are Laura and Marcos trapped forever on the other side. But be careful, if you look for too long, they might decide it's time to switch places with you.